just players too.
Good morning, good morning, and good morning. Welcome to the next episode of Girls Are Players Too. I'm the mama.
And I'm her daughter. Happy day after Sunday. Because we don't acknowledge Monday.
I acknowledge Mondays
I
because
don't.
it's a reality. We got to get up. How was the weekend? How was your weekend?
My weekend was cool. I am in the trenches right now studying for some stuff. So I actually had some friend time and some outside time. Family were in town, so went on a date. So it was a good mix of stuff, and now I'm back to living under my rock. So yeah. How about you? How was your weekend?
Oh, it was good. It was good. I took the little one to California to see her, visit with her cousin Bestie. So family time and just one thing that I want to note though was, you know, we talk about sports and overcoming adversity and whatnot, and your little one, she's swimming right now, and we went to a pool party. They had a slide, and she kept getting up on the slide and would not go down. Just would not go down. Like sat there, and we were recording, so we had I literally had 15 takes of her getting on this slide, sitting there, and then coming back down on the ladder. And she finally went down, Brittany. And oh my God, the cheers from the people at the party. She was excited, and we couldn't get her off the slide. I mean, it was so
But you know
awesome
what?
to
I'm
see.
gonna give it up. I'm gonna give it up for my baby. Cause she definitely is a blooper. Like there's a continuous blooper. So
But just to see a young little girl overcome a fear, and I don't know what sparked it. I don't know what it was, because a couple of the kids were going down, and I'm like, just watch them, and she finally did it. But it was so cool to see, and she's definitely going to be an athlete. I mean, that's for sure. But that was cool. So I was excited for that. So like I said, Monday we returned to our routine. So I'm all right with Mondays.
Day after Sunday. There you go. Coin that term. Okay. Or it'll make you feel a little bit better about going into the week. So
Okay. All right. All
yeah.
right. Well, let's get into our weekend recap.
Boom, boom.
This weekend was tough because I didn't follow a lot of stuff because I was busy tending to
following kids.
Yeah, exactly. So, but the NFL Hall of Fame did take place, and it was Saturday evening, and 4 players were inducted in the NFL Hall of Fame, which I think this was one of their smaller classes.
This is.
But to see some of the names, because now a lot of these athletes are becoming familiar to me. Like I remember watching these athletes play. The first one was Eric Allen. He was a cornerback, so a defensive player. Played from 1988 to 2001, so 13 years. But he played for a couple teams, the Eagles, the Saints, the Raiders. But he was a force on the defensive side. So certainly want to make sure to give it up for Eric Allen.
Don't give it up. Hold on.
Jared Allen, he was an edge rusher. So he played with the Chiefs, the Vikings, the Bears, the Panthers. And I remember him. He had a 12-year career. And I just remember him because he was, one of these dudes on the side. I mean, coming off them edges and just, oh my God, especially playing against the
The
Packers.
Packers, yes, yes. Like when I looked at the class, and cause I saw the names, and I'm like, oh, okay, and I'm like, Jared Allen, like, not the basketball player, like this is a whole different sport. Hold
Correct.
on,
Well, that's
but
Jared with two T's. This
right
is Jared with
when
a
I
D.
when I saw Jared Allen, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this man. Like he was a bully,
Yes.
just oh man, yeah. So he definitely deserved this one.
Yes. Yes. And I failed to mention, so Eric Allen, he did win a Super Bowl, 6 Pro Bowls. Jared Allen, 5 Pro Bowls. And then we move into Antonio Gates. And his story was really interesting. So he was a tight end,
Mhm.
and Brittany, he was undrafted. But that happens, some players make it to the league and they weren't drafted. But he never played college football.
Yeah, yeah, very interesting story. Just to make it to where he is and then being inducted is, yeah, very interesting. But he is one that I definitely remember as well.
So all of his years were with the Chargers. He
Yep.
had a 15-year career, but he played basketball. And so right away, it made me think of LeBron because everybody always say, "Oh, if LeBron was in the league, he would be a tight end. He would be killing."
Yes,
And that's
absolutely.
basically what Antonio Gates was. But
Hmm.
8 Pro Bowls. He is on the all-time career touchdown list. He's 7th right now. But I just think that that's so dope. That I mean, he never played college football. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
And then our last one, we gonna say the best for last because he was a Packer. Sterling Sharp.
Woo, woo, woo,
Woo!
woo.
Okay, Sterling Sharp had 5 Pro Bowls, but Sterling Sharp only played 7 seasons.
Yeah, he was not around long.
But he had a neck injury. That's kind of what ended his career. And that, like I said in times before that we've been on the air, is you hate to see a player's career ending because of an injury. And
Absolutely.
your neck is one that you can't mess around because one
Mm-mm.
additional hit and you're paralyzed.
Yep.
And so, but he, if he played 7 seasons, 5 of them he was an all, Pro Bowler. And I mean his stats, of course, don't necessarily signify Hall of Fame, but what he did in that short amount of
His
time, I mean, he
impact.
was dominant at the
Yeah.
position. He was a receiver, um, led the league in receptions. He went to the Super Bowl. I think they won that year that he went. Yep,
In
they
'97.
did win. They did win.
Yeah,
Yep. So he
in
won the Super
'97.
Bowl with Brett Favre, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just remember Sterling Sharp. I mean, first of all, his name was Sterling, which is not a familiar name,
Not a
not
common
a common
name, right?
name, right? So shout out to the newest class of inductees to the Football Hall of Fame. As we learn so much more about player development and injuries happening in the league right now, you just you I guess you really we don't know how much these guys go through to be
Yeah,
ready to play on Sundays.
yeah. And it helps you to actually appreciate the game more. So when you hear, I mean, outside of maybe quarterbacks, certain positions being in the league for 5, 7 years, it's like we understand. Oops, sorry, and we appreciate your like what you've done and brought to the sport because of just how impactful, like that the toll your body takes to prepare to play the after to do it all again. So but this time in like 3 weeks, the NFL is here. It's here. And I can't wait for Sunday. Well, I can't wait for Thursday night, Monday night, Sunday night. Football is back, y'all, and we got like 26 weeks of football just nonstop. I'm so happy. And you said what, 30 days? 30
Okay,
days?
yeah, today is August 4th, and the first game is September 4th. Cowboys and Eagles on Thursday night, first game of the season. So we gonna finally see what Dak Prescott is gonna do, and this drama surrounding the Cowboys right now, going against the world champs, Philadelphia Eagles, and they had a pretty
Fly,
quiet.
Eagles, fly.
Yeah,
Fly,
they
Eagles,
had a
fly.
pretty quiet off season in terms of drama. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've been paying attention, but it's been a lot of chatter about Jalen Hurts and whether or not his Super Bowl run was worthy of being like best of or best all time, and couple former quarterbacks have been weighing in, Johnny Manziel and Cam Newton.
Where is Johnny Manziel? And Cam Newton is somewhere in a hair growing contest because he got a lot going on. Their opinions, I'm sorry, because Cam Newton actually does have podcasts and he's doing whatever, but I do recall, and this is, I guess I can say I'm throwing shade. I do recall that Cam Newton was in the playoffs, the championship, and he didn't win.
He did not
He
win.
didn't win.
He did
So
not win.
I don't care if y'all say he's not best of this, that, and the third. If you were there and you didn't win, Jalen Hurts has that on you. So there's nothing to say to that. But
Well, and Jalen Hurts went to the Super Bowl and didn't win first time,
yes,
and then came back 2 years
came back.
later and won. So it's like, but I just they felt it's as if because the team was so good, and I mean the defense was banging, but the offense
Ain't that
still
what
has
you
to
hope
put
for?
up points.
Yeah.
The offense still has to put up points. And I just think, we saw a tush push. We saw a bomb throw to, Devontae Smith. Saquon was kind of missing in that game. They weren't able to get the run game going. So it's like, who
Yeah.
else was going to step up? But it just, I don't know.
But isn't that what you hope for? Your offense and defense clicking at that time in
Correct.
that game.
Correct.
People just gotta say something. We're the people to say, shut up. Okay.
Because
I'll be that one.
again, as a football fan, we love the sport, but I think we're fair in our assessment of how things go. But so again, with the season starting, we still got players that's still trying to negotiate contract
Holdouts.
extensions. Yes.
Yep.
And
Mm-hmm.
one that's just really hurting me is Terry McLaurin from the Washington Commanders. He had an incredible season.
Yes, he
He's
did.
had
Yes, he
incredible
did.
seasons for the
Yes, he
Commanders.
has.
But last year was one for the record books because they were not expected to be good. A new
No.
coach had come in, Dan Quinn had come in, and Jaden Daniels as a quarterback, but they start Zach Ertz, they just started clicking at the right time and literally
Mm-hmm.
went to the NFC Championship, got beat by the Eagles, but Terry McLaurin was a critical piece of their success. And he's asking for a contract extension. I don't know how much he's looking for because now everybody wants to be able to say that they're the highest non-paid quarterback at their position or whatever. But because of it, he's been to practice, but he's not practicing.
No, won't practice.
And he asked for a trade.
No. No. Y'all are so close to the start of the season. Now, again, the intricacies of football and what that looks like with trades and all of that, still for me doing a little bit of research in that. But like you said, this man has had amazing seasons with the Commanders. They couldn't come to any agreement, or if a player is requesting a trade, there's something internally. Like that's just always my go-to. There is something internally happening, and it could be because of this contract negotiation disagreement thing. But dang,
I know.
dang, that
And
that
I
hurts. That
really
definitely
like
hurts.
him for the Commanders, so it's
Yeah.
like you don't want to see him in a different uniform, and but these are professionals. We're talking about
Hmm.
the business side of things, and
Yep.
it's like he was one of the best in the league. So why would
Yes.
and again, I don't know what the money situation is specifically, like what he's asking for versus what they've come to the table with, but it's enough that he's not happy with what has been offered and now he wants to be traded. But last week we talked about Micah Parsons with the Cowboys. And
Hmm.
Micah has actually been at camp, been practicing, and he requested a trade.
Yeah, you talk about the okey doke or food just shocked you type of thing. Like, yeah, I'm practicing and now I don't want to be here. Like, mm.
Well, again, the negotiations are not going well. And I think, Jerry Jones as an owner is, he's pretty cutthroat. And they have to
Hmm.
be. I mean, he's a businessman and obviously he's a shrewd businessman and he's been in business and he's certainly knows how to negotiate. But again, we talk about what these players have to go through. And Micah Parsons was injured during some time last year, and I think the questioning about his durability is what is kind of on the table right now. And again, don't know what he's looking for, but he's in the same position of a TJ Watt who got
Hmm.
paid, of a Myles Garrett who
Ooh.
got paid. And it's like, what is it? And so the closer you get to the season, and now you have your standout, your top defensive player wanting out. How do you make amends? How do you make him happy?
Yeah.
Even if you
Yeah,
pay
especially
him, like
right.
does he feel
It's
the
like it's
same way
already
about the organization?
yeah, once it's almost like a sibling type of thing. It's like once that it's hard to get that back. You can try as much as you want and it might just be surface level, but he's just probably already removed himself. And it's just I think it's comical in a sense that he's been there, like working out, doing all of that. And it's like, I mean, you got to see, like maybe if I start practicing and doing things with them, I might, be able to get over this. And he unfortunately is not. So we'll see where he lands or what more comes of this. That could just be a threatening type of thing. Like I want to trade and all right, well here's this money. All right, cool. I'm here. I've already been practicing, so
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
see.
And just to close that out, the Miami Dolphins, they signed their defensive tackle, Zach Sealer, to a 3-year extension. But his whole approach was he never missed. He was in practice. He's like the business side will work its way out, work itself out. He is now the team's highest paid defensive player. So again, they going for this that title, highest paid, whatever. But he's the team's highest paid player. Certainly not the NFL's, because like I said,
No.
Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, they got paid. But he signed his extension. And so there are others. Like there are other players right now in training camp looking for contract extensions, meaning they're still under contract.
Yeah.
And you still have a job to do. So,
Yeah.
we'll give it up for Zach Sealer. We
Woo.
hope that, Micah Parsons, Terry McLaurin, we hope that they can
Yeah.
resolve their issues because it just, it's already a lot of movement this season and we got to figure
Yeah.
everything out, because man, we're going to have a lot to talk about on Mondays when football season starts. So, okay. All right.
Okay,
So,
wait. I like you said we want to close that out. So congrats to all the Hall of Famers this year, and to NFL starting in a little bit. We're just gonna give it up for that. Okay.
Okay, we gonna move into track and field.
Ooh, we ain't heard this sport in a while. So what's happening in the world of track and field?
Okay, well, Sha'carri Richardson. We talked about boys behaving badly last week. A couple of former NBA players getting arrested. She got arrested, Brittany,
She got arrested at the airport.
in
Like, what you
Seattle.
doing? Dang, she was in your state.
Yes, yes, but it was during her like qualifying stints for the U.S. championships. So
Mm-hmm.
now it's a fourth degree felony charge of assault. Basically, when I read the articles, she allegedly threw something at her boyfriend,
Yeah, was
pushed
pushing
him,
and.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like non-involved. Like he was like, I'm not gonna react. I'm not gonna, which is great because it could have been
Good job,
horrible.
sir.
Correct. But it was enough that she was detained, and obviously let go. But she ended up going. They had their finals this past weekend in Eugene, Oregon. I,
You be
I,
you,
I,
Oregon.
it's what I say, right? Um, and she did not qualify for the 200. Just missed it by point tenths of a second because you got to qualify in your heat. If you don't win your
Mm-hmm.
heat, you got to have the three fastest times. So she missed the 200, qualifying for the 200. She withdrew from the 100, which she did
And that
win the
is
week
her race.
before. Yeah, the week before
Mm-hmm.
she got arrested. But so she withdrew from that because she had already qualified. Now the World Championships is coming up September 19th. So that's what she was aspiring to get to. But again, she missed the 200. And it's like, dang, did her arrest have anything to do with like, right.
I, you know, I think so. I think so because if you think back to when she was suspended or whatever for the whole marijuana thing, like that all definitely plays on your mental. Because now it's like, dang, I got myself into this. And it's almost like a response of this action happened. Now it's like, it's not to say you don't deserve to move to the next thing, but it's almost like just the way of life happens. Like, you did this, now we're gonna sit you down because why are you doing these things in public? In public. So it's unfortunate. It is definitely unfortunate. I mean, good for her for qualifying for the 100, but it's just like this is your sport, so don't do anything to take yourself out.
Right. I know. And Noah Lyles, the Olympian, Noah Lyles, who just he's such he's such a trash talker. He's arrogant. And I know as in a sport when you're an individual, there is a level of arrogance that has to come with that because it's just you. But
Yeah.
last year and during the Olympics, prior to the Olympics, he spoke about, NBA players claiming to be world champions. And they're not world champions because who are they competing against? They're competing against other United States players. And it's like, yeah, but they're competing against players that play they're from other countries like Nikola
Right.
Jokic and Giannis Antetokounmpo. These are players from Luka Doncic. So, but because Toronto has a team, out of that's part of North America, but it's a separate country. He doesn't give them that credit, but he talks so much trash. So, in his race in the finals, he ran against another American, obviously, because this was the U.S. Championships. Kenny Bednarik, and as he crossed the finish line, because he won, he looked over at him, just kind of gave him like this shot. And Kenny was not having it. He pushed him, like he shoved him, like literally at right.
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy. And so Kenny was just like,
when people say you met the right one today, yeah, Kenny was the right one that day.
But it's like, why do you have to taunt people? I mean, you won, so it's like, Vince Lombardi's favorite statement was, or famous statement was, when you get into the end zone, act like you've been there before. You don't have to do all the gallops and the dancing and all that, you this is what you do. So if this is what you do, why are you taunting people?
Yeah, and to me, all of that is there's some insecurities within himself, because if you are this good, I mean, it speaks for itself. You don't have to do any of that. You run across the line, all right, we're going to the next thing, boom. The taunting, the trash talk, good job, Kenny. And I don't condone violence. This is a non-violent zone. But yeah, you only have so many times to poke a bear, and you poked that bear that day, and he wasn't having it. So you met your match.
Well,
Lesson
they're
learned.
going to
Stop doing
compete
it
again, because they was only, I think he lost by 0.4 of a second.
Oh, he on his tail.
So, and he's beat him before. So now they both compete in the World Championships, and they'll compete against each other. But I believe they're teammates in the men's 4x1 relay. So it's like, and again, I'm just one. Sportsmanship to me matters. And I know as an athlete, we talk about, that edge that we're supposed to have. But there is a level of sportsmanship that we just bring. You shake hands when it's over.
Yeah.
You are gracious in victory and in defeat, because it happens. Somebody has to lose.
Yeah. Plus, with you mentioning that they're on the same relay, that could just be we represent the U.S., like we're on the same team. And so how does it look for you to be acting like this to your teammate? like come on, dude, we here together. So again, act like you've been here, act like you know what it's like to win and to lose, because it happens to all of us. So come on, Noah Lyles.
Well, Tyreek Hill from the Dolphins challenged him to a race, because Tyreek is like,
I would love to see the cheetah.
But they canceled it. It was supposed to happen this year, and they canceled it. And word on the street was it was because of Noah that it was canceled. But it was again. I don't know enough about the planning and the timing of when this race was supposed to be, but I literally was rooting for Tyreek Hill, and he's a mess too.
Oh yeah, of course. The cheetah. That little sucker can go. Oh.
Oh my God. Yes. So, all right. Well, let's close out with NBA updates. So, Luka Doncic signed his extension with the Lakers.
Gonna give it up for Luka. Woo, 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 woo.
3 years, $165 million. But ever since the trade happened, Luka has been winning. He just has.
He has been winning. He's been a silent winner too. Like, you don't gotta blast out everything you're doing. Luka been in the gym. Luka's physique is getting tight, and he got his money. So it all works out the way it should. Well, I think.
Yeah, and he's basically the new face of the Lakers, because his extension is 3 years. LeBron is not playing another 3 years. So
I don't know that.
No, I firmly believe, and it's been said, that LeBron wants to, when he announces, or he wants it to be announced that this is his last season, so he can get his glory tour, like Kyle Kobe did, go out, Sue Bird, this is my last year, so every time I play in New York. This is the last time I'm gonna be
Y'all
in
gonna
New
see me
York.
whooping y'all
Correct.
tail
Exactly.
over these last 20
Exactly.
years.
So yeah. But to know that the Lakers gave him his extension, and it was rumored that he could have signed for 4 years, but there's some terms and everything that's rolled into that. So after his second year, he has a player option, and based on how that was constructed, he can now sign a max deal. Because Luka is 26 years old. He's not old,
Yeah, he a young buck.
So
Yeah.
right. So this dude, he could be the first NBA player to earn $1 million a game. They play 82 games. And he can be close to that 80 million, 81, 82 million a year range. He's winning.
Good job, Luka.
But another player who's winning is Damian Lillard. Okay, so Dame
Dame
tore his
Dollar.
Achilles. He tore his Achilles in the playoffs, playing with the Bucks. 2 years with the Bucks. Everybody keeps saying how his time in Milwaukee wasn't good, and I don't agree with that. Him and Giannis were the highest scoring duo in the league those 2 years. Like that tandem was clicking. They just didn't win beyond whatever because people were hurt. People got hurt.
Yeah.
Dame got hurt. Well, the Bucks decided to waive Dame because he's not going to play next year. He's going to miss the year. And we were all just devastated, like, dang, how do you do that? They decided to waive him and brought in Miles Turner, but they're going to stretch out that contract he had for 5 years, so he's still paid by Milwaukee. But because they waived him, he became a free agent. Portland swooped in and said, you know what, let's bring him back home. So Dame is going back home. They signed him to a $42 million contract for 3 years. Okay, $42 million. That's $14 million a year. He's not gonna play next year. He's still getting paid by the Bucks for 5 years. Okay, and he's back home with his kids, his family. He just became
the best thing ever.
I know, but now he just became the GM of Weber State, where he went to college.
It doesn't get any better. You know what? We're going to cheer for him.
He's winning. He is winning.
For those of you who felt that Dame was not happy or, first of all, Dame's disposition is very low affect. Like, just, I'm here to do what I need to do. I don't need to smile and laugh in all y'all faces. No. He had a great time here with the Bucks. But to know that, it was almost like all right, just take a little break. Just see what's out there. And then to land with the Bucks, like, it didn't get any better than that, because you're with Giannis.
You played with a champion, a true champion, and you were an all-star. You had 2 all-star seasons with the Bucks.
Exactly. And then it's like, all right, come on home. You injured. So what better opportunity for you to be home with your kids, spend that time, and, just rehabilitate yourself. And to be back with Portland and to be the GM of Weber State, that is like a full circle moment. Like, nothing better than that. So from Girls Are Players 2 to you, Dame Dollar, we are exceptionally happy, proud, overjoyed, ecstatic. Any word in that realm, we're giving that to you.
Keep winning.
That is just
winning.
Amazing. Yes. All we do is win, no matter what. He got money on his mind because he's still getting that paper, but he is winning.
Yes. And he's in a good position. When you can rehab around your family, your friends, your trainers, it just, because that in itself is, as we talked with Dr. Muscala a couple weeks ago, that's hard, to recover from an injury. So you got to surround yourself with good people. So, but we gotta end with the WNBA, because another player who it seems to be winning is Dijonai Carrington. Now she played with her. I know. She played with the Connecticut Sun last year, was traded to the Wings this year, and just got traded to the Minnesota Lynx. Like, of all the teams to be traded to, and they are the league's number one team. I mean, they have like 5 losses, and they just keep winning. So she was most improved player last year in the W, and the Lynx ended up losing to the Liberty in the finals, but they are certainly poised to be back in the finals this year.
Absolutely. And that, when I saw it, I said, excuse me. I said, Dijonai, she getting traded. Then I saw to where she was being traded. I said, yeah. Because I mean, she can play. She plays very well. Like for her size and her position, and she was in the unrivaled three. All of that over the summer, where Nafisa was, and so they're back together. Like it's just a great situation, and today we just all about winning.
Yeah.
All they doing is winning. So congrats to her. I'm gonna give it up for her. I'm gonna give it up for Dijonai.
Well, we are going to close with the Connecticut Sun literally got bought out by the owners of the Boston Celtics. And
Yeah.
they say that they're looking to move that team to Boston. So the WNBA Connecticut Sun in 2027 might have a new home in Boston.
And when you think about the W and this whole money thing and all of that and people watching and this and that, if you put teams in a bigger market, strategically, that is brilliant. Boston is a huge market in the
Sports market.
basketball world.
It's
And you
sports.
add it and you add a women's team. Yeah, for sports, yes. All of sports really. And you add the women's team, that just bumps that for the W. So the W is winning too.
We winning.
Okay.
We are winning. So congrats on that. Let's just hope that all sides agree to the terms of the trade or the acquisition, because I think it would be huge for the W to have a team in Boston. No,
Yeah.
no shade to Connecticut,
Absolutely.
because obviously UConn
Mm-mm.
basketball is huge. So the fanfare is favorable, but to be in a bigger market, I think certainly does well for the W. But all right, Brittany, it's
Absolutely.
been, I mean, when we started this, we didn't think we were going to get to this, like, to the end, but it's time to go.
It's time to say goodbye. And
Thank
you know
you.
what, y'all? Keep watching. Keep watching. If you haven't watched, start watching, because we're going to continue to be here, so you're not missing out on anything. But we here, and we girls that are playing too, we're going to be at this table. Okay?
That's
We at this
right.
table. So
Have a good week.
have a good week. We'll see y'all later this week.